And you might know things better than I do, but I'm just going to go through what I had. A lot of trials and tribulations at first. I started doing the carry out the day after we had to shut down. I never closed the restaurant. And I feel that if you aren't open yet, open, because your face to the public is so important that people don't forget you. We don't want anyone to forget us. So if you haven't opened yet, you're thinking of it, make a plan and try to open. And some of the things we went through in the beginning, and I'll go through that, is deciding on your menu. Do you want to limit it? Do you want to have your whole menu? Are all the things on your menu items that can travel? You might want to test them if you're not sure. Test them, take them home. Make sure that when the food gets there, it still tastes good. Number two, your packaging, to ensure that when the food gets to wherever it's going, that it gets there in good shape. I try to use the best packaging possible for my price point. And you may need to look at what you use for packaging. And if you want to use a better packaging, you might need to increase your price 25 cents. And I know that sounds minimal, but packaging is going to start increasing because there's going to be a shortage. There's already a problem with paper bags. Amazon put this problem into our laps over a year ago, but now it's bigger and better because everyone is taking their food carry out. So you need to look at creative ways to save money, and also look at logoing your packaging. And if you don't want to buy 1,000 cases, there are companies that will make stickers for you. You can get rubber stamps. Let people are going to reuse your bags. Let them see what name is on it.
And those can
go ahead.
Purchased by from chamber members. So if you're needing
the stickers and the stamps and all that, yes.
Sorry, Mary.
Signage. People need to know when you're open and that you are open and the hours that you're open. So outside signage that we were never allowed, we can put all over the place right now. And you can put your hours out, make a banner, put a sign in the front or on the side. Let people know what type of delivery you're doing. Are you doing just pickup? Are you doing curbside and pickup? Are you doing curbside, pickup, and delivery? I'm pushing delivery right now, and I'm pushing it, doing it myself, not meaning me, but having staff members do it. And people will have more confidence in your delivery person than they will with Uber, Grubhub, DoorDash, etc., because they know your delivery person comes out of your building. And I've had people call and say, I only want a delivery if somebody from your place is going to do it. Because they don't know where this other person has come from, been, etc., etc. They don't know if they took the food and made 3 stops along the way. So they have a lot of confidence in your own delivery. One of the other things we need to do is we need to make it simple for the customer. Make the order process, the pickup, however they're getting the food, simple. And I marked those of you that sell liquor, I marked my wine down price from the bottle price I was selling it. I did the same for the beer. And even though you're more money than the liquor store is going to be up the street, people like a one-stop shop. It makes it easy. And what you can do is, if you don't have a cooler that's accessible to where people pick up, if you call Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whoever you buy from, you have to order, I think it might be like 15 cases of soda. they'll give you a free cooler. And you can use that to put wine and beer in, et cetera, et cetera. And you can also put the soda in there. I buy cans of soda and I do sell it. Make social media your best friend. And if you don't have time to post effectively, hire someone. I have a company that does it for me. It's actually one of my employees has her own company, and it's been very effective for me. That and keeping your website updated. People need to be able to go there, even if you don't have online ordering. They can look at your menu, and if you've taken your menu and cut it in half, put that menu on your website so that you don't have people calling and then getting disappointed that they can't get like 5 of your items. Be creative with your waiters and people. It can be hosts, meaning taking the orders and taking care of the people when they come in. You may need to do split shifts with your cooks. You might need to renegotiate what people make, hourly people, salaried people, in order for you to stay open and make it at least a little profitable for yourself. You may need to renegotiate some of those things. I do a weekly P&L. That way I keep myself in check because of the rising prices right now of beef and pork for us and paper goods. Keep that weekly P&L. Do it so that you see where you are at the end of each week and you're not surprised at the end of the month. Ensure that you and your staff have.
Did we lose Mary?
We did.
Yeah.
I'll pick up for a few minutes until she comes back, and then we'll entertain her when she gets back. PJ Weiland, is she back? Nope, she isn't. Okay, I thought maybe she came back. With Action
Okay.
Oh, there you are, Mary. Yes, you are back. Keep going.
Hello?
We lost you. We lost you for a minute, Mary.
I lost you.
You were
Okay,
talking about the P&L.
Where did I end up?
We're talking about the weekly P&L.
Okay, all right, do the weekly P&L. That way, at the end of the month, you're not surprised. And that way, weekly, you can adjust pricing. You can adjust staffing. You can cut, in this type of atmosphere, you need to cut hours, not shifts. 2 hours a day from 3 people can make or break a week nowadays. So I think that's important. And then ensure that you and your staff have access to plastic gloves and masks. Make sure that everyone's masks are clean and they're cleaning them properly, and that you have enough plastic gloves to make multiple changes. You're going to go through boxes in a day, but that's just part of the game right now. And you need to look at this in a long term. We can't look at this as, okay, maybe next month, because the way that plan came out yesterday, it looks like the end of June. And who knows? We have a conservative plan versus most other states do not have a plan as conservative as ours. So we need to see how this unfolds, and we need to keep ourselves afloat. So don't bank on doing twice the business in June, because it's probably not going to happen. So you need to look 3 months out, and then you need to look when they do let us open. How many people are we going to be allowed? And is it going to be worth it for us to open for in-house with the limited number of patrons? I think carryout is going to be the norm for a long time. Okay, Peach, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Any questions for Mary before I have just some things to kind of fill in the blanks? Any questions that what Mary's doing, or any comments?
I have one question, just I guess for Mary specifically. Right now, I'm working on being a new POS system and trying to push online orders, which we never had before. I was thinking initially of trying to push it myself on Facebook, Instagram, all that, but I'm not honestly very good at that in general. If you're talking, you said you hired an independent company, right?
I have an employee, Ted, that does it on the side.
Okay.
And I'll get you her information later.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Just because I was looking at that, and there's a lot of different people and a lot of different prices, and I don't even know, you know. So yeah,
Okay.
we can talk about that later. I was just wondering because we can, you know, all these things are great, but if people don't know, right, then it's
Plus, it's impossible because now, and I'm sure you know this, you and I are more physically involved in the business. We're not, we can't sit in an office, not that we were, but there's not a lot of time for that now. So we need other people to do these things, and they know better than I do. I know that for a fact. So I find if you hand that off to somebody, you can make, it'll help you you'll spend some money, but you'll make more money.
mhm.
Other questions for Mary? Comments?
I have one.
Yeah.
Because I heard Mary say that. Do you get your packaging from Amazon? Like your
No.
bags?
No, because Amazon has gotten so popular
Oh, okay.
and they use so much paper good. That's why all our paper goods increased in the last year immensely.
Yeah, I like your packaging. Where do you get it? Restaurant Depot?
No, I buy from Marlin, Trimark Marlin,
Oh, okay.
on Supply Company.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions for Mary? Is that what she's talking about? Okay, I'm going to cover a couple things. I'm going to jump off what Mary said because I think there's a lot in there and so much to unpack. I want to talk about communication a little bit more and the marketing side because I think that's probably top of mind for a lot of folks. So how do I do that? Social media, Mary said, absolutely the key. Using every platform you have access to, every resource, an element. If you have staff that you believe has the capability and you want to train them, we have options for helping teach them and to get them into some classes, get them into some things to get them effective in some way to supplement what you do paid. So if there's things that you want to do or want to get smarter at, there are definitely online options. I can help point you in some directions as to how to get better at it. Because having someone like Mary has that works in the business and does this is invaluable because when something's going out the door, she can take a picture. When something's happening, she can use the elements of what's happening in your business as part of your marketing. So she has a double benefit from that, having someone who's in the business. But if you have folks like that, I can't emphasize enough about the website being current. And I say that from the element of your homepage, your front page, as soon as they get on there, they should be able to order or they should be able to see the menu. It's not buried. It's not anywhere else. Even if it's changed or it has been buried in the past, putting it front and center and thinking it from a mobile perspective, because that's where people are also looking at it from as well, is your menu super easy to navigate on a mobile device or super easy to order even on a mobile device. And understanding that in the menus, are you thinking about future ordering where you have a virtual menu that people can actually use a QR code and scan a QR code, and then all of a sudden up comes the menu. Something that's simple like that. So you have touchless relationship. You don't have to touch anything when someone does that. Understanding that a little bit. Any kind of videos are great, guys. Right now, videos, things that make you personable, make you relatable to who's buying because they're buying to you and they're coming to you because you're local and they want to support you desperately. So getting your own faces out there is super, super important. People need to know that they're buying because they like Mike, they like Ted, they like Wendy. That will go a long, long way in your social media, that they're buying because they like you. And like you, they want to support you. They have a face to it.
And it's fun. We did a TikTok. A Mexican taco TikTok. It was fun.
Yeah, but they like it and they relate to it.
Yeah.
And then all that. And anything you create, anything, whether it's a TikTok, whether it's a social media, whether it's a Snap, whether it's anything you create, we can use in multiple ways. You should be repurposing that over and over again. It's not a single event. Everything can be kind of reprocessed into an email, into any of your social media, onto your website. All that stuff can be repurposed. So it's not about creating content, but using that content consistently. I want to talk a little bit about your team for a minute. Make sure you understand and you have thought through what are your policies if something happens. If something happens in your facility, if you are exposed, if you're on the if someone is contacted in your space, what is your protocol? Do you have someone on call that you can come and clean your space at the level you need it cleaned if you happen to have a COVID positive? But plan on, know what your plan is if you have a COVID positive in your space. Or if someone calls you and says, I was in picking up and I was COVID positive. But know exactly what you're going to do so you don't have to skip a beat. You have everybody kind of on speed dial to say, I can get back up and running as fast as possible. If you saw what Heinen's did, they were up and running extraordinarily fast because they had a plan as to what to do. And some of Max and Benny's also went down for a long time because they didn't have a plan. They went down for about 3 weeks, I believe, because they didn't have a plan as to how to get back up. So have a plan for that. Also, on your staff, one of the things that I'm hearing from a lot of folks is if your staff are not using their PPE correctly, if they're not using their mask and their gloves correctly, people won't come back. I can't tell you how many masks are here and not over your nose. So you gotta just really, really come hard on it because it's gonna cause people to not come back. You know, they have a bad experience or they have a questionable experience, they're gonna think twice about it. So train and emphasize. It's about them too. It's about their own safety as well. Mary talked about the rates and the salaries and how to negotiate. I mean, tips and all that stuff. Looking down the pike, tips are changing, right? Because they're not gonna be able to seat as many in your facility. So how do you begin to change the industry it will change as to how you pay your employees in the front of the house. So thinking about that. Talking about financials a little bit. If you have not renegotiated everything in your business, you need to. And I'm talking about everything that you possibly can. Talk about leases, talk about your insurance, talk about your anything, internet, anything at all you have in your facility, you need to go after and have the conversation. If you have loans or credit lines, all of that should be opened up for conversation and say, you know, I know I have a credit line at X%, I want X minus. Can you do something for me? Everything should be renegotiated. Or you can think about it and have that conversation, because I'm shocked at what people are giving it and people are allowing it to happen. So don't miss the boat on that. Other things, probably the last thing I'll mention is your mindset. You guys, anything you can do to keep your head in the game, because it's all about what's up here and making sure that you don't get discouraged and you're not, you know, you're the leader of these guys, of your teams. And so setting that and being okay with it and helping your teams through that is going to make a huge difference. And looking at it positively and understanding that we've been in way worse times. This is crazy, but 2008 lasted years. This is perspective. You guys have all been through 3, 4, 5 economic downturns. That we're going to get through this. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be months of what we're doing. And so plan on that. Build your plan, look at your budget, reforecast your budgets. Mary does a great job of weeklies. That's exactly where you need to be. Weekly budgets, P&Ls. If any of you need help with any of that, I am here. I will do what I can to help you in any way I can. If you need ideas, if you need perspective, I'm not here to charge you. I'm not here to do anything else. I'm here to help you. I'm the yellow sign lady. I put the yellow signs in all the buildings. So I'm here to help you and ask for it from each other as well. Questions? Thoughts, Mary?
They're beautiful signs.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of signs, if anybody needs a window sign person, I know this guy, he works in the city, but he comes out to the suburbs quite often. He does really great lettering. I have, my whole window says curbside and delivery.
Yeah.
You could see it
Beautiful.
from down the street. He does a really good job, and he's not expensive.
Miles
So
away.
if anybody needs it, yeah.
What's top of mind for you guys right now? What's going on in your space that you're worried about?
Well, I
Well,
think a
we
lot of
never-
people are concerned with when we get to open, what is it going to be worth it? Is it going to be worth it to seat people inside, and what is that going to be? And I think that's a cloud over everyone's head. And that's why we need to do the best job we can at carry out, because there are going to be a lot of people that are afraid to go out. And so we need to up even weekly specials if you have time and the manpower to create, so that the people that are coming to you every week or 2 days a week, you give them something different than your menu. I think that's important. You have to be as creative as possible, because again, and I keep saying this, and I'm not trying to bring dread, but I'm bringing reality, that it's going to be not until the beginning of July, if we're allowed, the way our governor is doing this, and we have to swallow that right now.
So hey, Mary, how are you doing? Because we were, from day one up until like today, we have been doing curbside. So we do everything over the phone, credit card payments over the phone. And if it's cash, we would have like little buckets, and they'd push tell us how much money they were going to give us. We'd put the change, and then we'd take it to their car, give it to them like from far away a little bit, and then they put their bill. But now today we started doing because it's a nice day, we put a little table by the door kind of, and they can come and pick up. But like, how are you doing your pickup at your restaurant? Do they come in?
Yes, I have, but I'm
Okay.
fortunate. I'm fortunate to have a large space.
Yeah,
I use the front
exactly.
of the restaurant. I cleared the bar out, so I have plenty of space for them to pick up. I have 2 areas where they can pick up. I have a separate area where all the Uber drivers and DoorDash drivers go to. So I'm fortunate. Most people have already paid though. We do some cash, but we're all wearing the gloves. So
Yeah, right.
the cash is not a problem.
Okay.
But you have to have space if you want to have indoor pickup, because you
Yeah, I
have to
have
have
such a little space. I was thinking of maybe the idea of letting one, maybe, I don't know, Taco Tuesday on Cinco de Mayo was like, it was fun.
crazy.
It was crazy. We couldn't keep up kind of, but I kind of want it to be where maybe we can allow one person inside at a time to come and pick up. I don't know. I'm kind of like
Well,
wondering
you could have them call when they get to your parking lot, and they can call and you can say, okay, it's okay to come in. But
Okay.
I like your idea of setting it up outside if you can.
Mhm.
Because
It's kind of like
that
right
way
at the
you're
door.
not going to make them wait in the car.
Yeah, mine's kind of right at the door. Like if they open the door,
Yeah.
we have a table right there with the orders, and my daughter's like handing out the orders. But we're super paranoid. We are.
Mhm.
We have
See,
a
I
saying.
just
No.
think what we have right now, and I can tell by the percentage of people that are picking up inside, it's increased in the increased.
Oh yeah. And we have a little saying: no mask, no tacos. So even when you're coming in you have to have your mask on.
Mm-hmm. I just think people want social reaction. That's why they want to come in and pick up. They
Right.
want to talk to somebody. And I
I
think
know.
that's a big part of it lately.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important for you guys to be socially visible too, because they then come into the pick up and they're like, there's Marlene, there's Mary, there's the people I've been interacting with or I see online. And the more you can do that, the better. And I know it's kind of awkward and you have a lot of other things going on, but that's hugely important for them to relate to you guys.
Yeah. It is.
Mm-hmm.
So Ellie's is going to be open, Ted?
We've been open short in hours from 8 to 2.
Oh, okay.
It's been a struggle, but
Yeah.
you know,
Definitely different.
week by week, it's been a little bit better. As everyone kind of experienced that a little bit. I think maybe they realize they can't really cook for too long at home. So week by week is like getting a little bit better. But yeah, I
Yes.
mean, for us, it's like 75% down, you know.
And you do breakfast. So have you considered doing the hotel version of breakfast?
No, what I've considered doing, and this was more popular in the beginning, is like family style, like for a family of 5. I've seen a couple places. You know, I spoke a little bit to, if you know him, George from Cappy's.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me he had, you know, family style, and I don't know what everyone else is doing, but family of 5, you know, kind of a meal, even a dinner meal, you know, let's say some chicken, rice, soup, salad combo for 5, it'd be like $50, which, you know, is a pretty good deal for a family, you know, to eat out. But even him, when I spoke to him at first, he was telling me, you know, it's such razor thin margins, you know, as you all know, where it's like he has the same exact staff that I do, so it's not like big difference.
I'm talking about the element of, you know, you go to bed at night and you put in your order and you leave it on your door and the next morning your breakfast gets delivered. You know, things like that really get you a different take on, because you're breakfast, which is different than a lot of folks.
Yeah.
That folks are willing to order at night and get it ready for delivery in the morning because they go to bed at night at the hotel and they put their hanger on the door. You know, that concept, taking it to more virtual concept might be interesting.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about how to do that or what it might be, I'm happy to.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, perhaps bed and breakfast type of. Yeah.
Right, they go to bed at night and they impulsively do that.
Yeah.
Stick it on the side of the door, and then you are available for that. You already know what your orders are the next morning.
Mm-hmm. You're saying they would order something, let's say online, like, you know, I want
8
this.
o'clock at night. 8 o'clock at night before they go to bed, they place their breakfast orders, just like they do in a hotel when they go to bed. You know,
Or call it in.
Or call it. I mean, I'm using the hotel version.
Yeah.
Let's take it virtual, Ted. Because that's something that people are familiar with doing. Right? They're familiar with going to bed at night and putting their hotel room service order on their door, right?
Right,
and the
right.
next morning up, you know, they open the door and they say what time they want it delivered, 8, 9, or 10, or whatever they want, and their breakfast is at their door.
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea at all. That's interesting. Yeah. I never thought about that. No, I never thought about it like that.
You know, and this is what I do is I help people try to brainstorm, how do we get you where you want to go? Because we can do some really cool things with the breakfast because it's so different in some ways.
Have any of you tried turning your place into like a grocery store? Is that like, I know that's like the new thing, but I don't, is it even worth it? Has anybody tried it? I'm not talking just, you know, putting a few bottles of wine on like the front desk that you're, you know, first of all, personally, I don't have a liquor here. So like, you know, so I don't know, put some flour at the front desk here. I don't know. Like, you know,
like selling some of your stuff, like.
Yeah. Has anybody here entertained that idea, and has it been successful for you? If you have.
I know that a lot of places in the city do it,
Hmm.
or a few places, but I almost think that's more conducive to walking traffic. I don't know. That's my,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, if I'm to sell, I guess you could sell cream, or you could sell, you, Ted, could sell coffee
Yeah.
Your
and
orange juice. Oh, love your
cream and
orange juice.
OJ. That's maybe something like that would be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're right, Mary. It's very much in some ways, it's very much a walking traffic, but it could also be a point of purchase thing for
Yeah.
people that would be already coming in. Oh yeah, I want OJ. Oh, I'll take a coffee to go too. Because
Right. Or he could sell actual coffee, ground coffee.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. That somebody might be running out.
Especially there are people that love your coffee, and they
Private
want to be
labeling.
able to have it at home.
Private labeling some of your stuff for packaging may be interesting, the private label style side of it. Which
Or
is
make larger portions. Like I usually have sides of rice, sides of, refried beans or guacamole or salsa. And what I did was I created like the new sizes, the large, for 4 people of everything we usually sell smaller sides of. And we're selling a lot of those because they want to take a big, thing of beans. You could do that with, oh my gosh, I love the fruit you give. Ugh.
Yeah.
Your orange juice alone, if you do that, like in the little jugs, like Tony's Market, they have their juices, grapefruit, orange, carrot. Oh my gosh, people would probably buy that by a little gallon or half gallon.
Right.
That's a
Right.
good idea.
Did any of you, are any of you wondering what it's going to be like and what the break-even point is when you reopen? If it's only a quarter of the seats, or, at what point do you say, we're not going to reopen, we'll keep doing pickup and delivery? Mary, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think we need to see how they're going to tell us to reopen first in order to see what the break-even point would be. But I think even that, like I have a pretty big bar here. Like, what do I do? Do I have 2 bartenders? Or do I have 1? All those decisions are going to be made after I know how many people that I can have sitting there. And that's where cross-training your staff is going to be real important, because you need to find people that can do 2 jobs, bartend and wait on tables, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And really it's about having the ability to see the financial impact and be able to do what if scenarios. So making sure you can quickly do some what if scenarios, so you can analyze it, do you have the tools, do you have the data to do that? And if you don't, make sure you have that in place, because you're going to have to make those decisions based on what the rules come out, and you don't know them until they come out. So you have to be able to respond pretty quickly. Mike, what's on your mind these days?
What's on my mind?
Yeah.
Everything that, has been discussed is reality. It's the unknown that is going to trip everyone up. It's constantly going to evolve, just like this whole thing has in the last, 8 to 10 weeks. You got to be on your toes, and you have to change almost daily to the business climate. And it's the unknown that scares people, especially in the full service segment. You don't know what it's going to look like. You can only kind of guess right now, but Mary hit it on the head. You just got to be flexible, and you better be able to react. And then make some decisions. This thing's going to change this industry, I think, for a long, long time. And hopefully, everyone can come out of it and just be as prosperous as they were before this thing hit. So.
There's a lot of things, and you just hit the nail on the head. A long, long time. Like, think about it. When you reopen, people aren't going to want to touch your menus. You're going to have to use paper menus probably and throw them in the garbage. Those little things you have to be ready to go with, because even like I notice, like the people that do the printing and everything, they're so busy because everybody's doing flyers and specials and all that, that it's taking longer to get service. So if you know that we're going to get to open, I say we're going to have to use paper menus, or, and I don't want to,
Use QR
or
codes.
virtual, or like put monitors on your walls with the menu. I mean, because nobody's going to want to touch a menu. Are we going to stand there and sanitize every menu? No.
But you could use QR codes too, and have a you can very simply just take a picture of a QR code and it'll immediately pop up on your phone, whatever website you have. And that's where your menu.
Yeah, but you got to have a menu with 4 items on it then, because people are going to have to sit there and enlarge it to pay. You got to have something easy for them to read if they come in and eat. I don't want to have to look at a menu on my phone. I mean, I don't have good eyesight as it is. You're going to have to enlarge everything. You need to be ready to go. And that's one thing. There's a lot of other things like salt and pepper. They're going to have to be sanitized. I mean, you're going to have a different mode, what the busboy's job or whoever you have is going to be. A wine list. Somebody's going to touch it. I mean, you know what? And the chances of somebody getting sick are small, but they're there. And that's what we have to be aware of.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what if you add, along with your condiments, and I don't know if you can get them, but the sanitizer wipes. You know, I think like a Clorox, the Clorox tube with the wipes coming out.
Oh, so that's what we're going to have to use. Yeah, definitely.
Just have one of those on every table, and then people will, they can sanitize their own salt and pepper if they want to. It just gives a real sense of, oh, I feel safer now. I just sanitize this.
People are scared in general. So every movement within the restaurant is going to be magnified. So a server's actions are going to be magnified. The busboy's actions are going to be magnified. The bartenders, everything is going to be under a microscope. One of the things I've seen people, they're scared to even sign their credit card receipt. They don't want to sign it. So it's going to be a combination of technology. A lot of this stuff is going to have to take place on their own, maybe at the table, instead of saying, the simple exchange of just credit cards freaks people out. So we have to alleviate this fear amongst any diner. And the best way to do that is just to be prepared and come up with the best techniques to, keep this thing rolling. People are gonna be frightened to go out and eat in a restaurant.
Before they shut us down, Lumonati's was when they went there a customer told me this, when they went to sit down over there, they had a busboy come in full gear, with Lysol, whatever, cleaned the entire booth and area, and nothing was on the table. They didn't have anything. So they had crushed red pepper, Parmesan, everything on the side, individual packets, disposable silverware, disposable plates. Nothing was, so for us, yeah, like you were saying, like no ketchup bottles, no mustard bottles, no salt and pepper shakers, just, as weird as it is.
Yeah.
Paper plates, I don't see the difference. If you have a dishwasher sanitizing the plate and you grab a plate from a bag or whatever, I don't see if it doesn't stay on food, I don't see the difference. Somebody has to carry over the plate to you anyway, but,
The syrup is gross on a paper plate.
Most food
very soggy paper plate, sticky.
But I don't know what they're gonna. Realistically, too, right? I mean, just thinking about it. Let's say they were to reopen and say 50% capacity, which is what we're hearing, right? even the 50% capacity, they're saying you have to make it work with social distancing. So what does that like turn into 25%? Like, what are you hearing in the village over there? Is that what they're, go
Go for it, Ben. Take
go
it,
ahead,
Ben.
man.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ben Weiberg. I'm sorry I haven't introduced myself previously. I was having some connectivity problems at the beginning. I'm a management analyst with the Village of Glenview. I'm kind of here as a representative to hear what you guys are thinking. We're trying to put together some level of care package or whatever we can do to help all of you guys. Ted, as to continue on to what you were saying, we have been hearing either 50% occupancy or 50-person occupancy, depending on the size of the restaurant. Smaller restaurants, 50 people is a lot. For a place like Johnny's or Ellie's, it's a little more manageable. But we're the same as you. Every single time we have something ready to go out to, businesses and restaurants, something new comes out and everything is changed and updated, and what we had before is no longer valid. So we're doing our best to try and stay updated and keep as many of you guys updated as possible. But I'm here kind of just to listen to what you guys have to say. And at the conclusion of this, I can give my phone number or whatever to see if I can help you guys in any way additionally that the village has done so far. But that's what we've been hearing too. And again, tomorrow it could be updated. Everything that the state is doing is kind of on a, it's a learn by day kind of thing. So, no one knows what's going to happen next. And so we're just trying to roll the punches and keep you guys as updated as possible.
Thank you.
What's your phone number, Ben?
It's 847 904
Okay.
4310.
Thank you.
And Marlene,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if now's the right time. The window sign person that you said.
Sean?
Is
Yeah.
that okay?
Do you need that? Okay.
Yeah, just phone number or whatever. And
Yeah. He's really good.
Wait, Marlene, just a sec. I want to jump in here for a second. Is
Yeah.
it hand lettering or is it manufactured signs?
Hand lettering on the window. So if you have glass, he'll do something really cute.
Great.
773
Okay.
456 4423.
And if anyone needs any, signs printed for their windows or menus printed when you do open back up, we've got some great chamber members that could definitely help you that are local Glenview guys. So I can share those if anyone's interested.
Okay.
Great.
If any of you guys need any, assistance or want to bounce some ideas, I'm happy to help in any way I can, guys.
Thank you, PJ. You got some great ideas. I like that calling in at night for Ted. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
It's what I do.
I would totally do that. What's your phone number, PJ?
312-961-0558.
Gracias.
Nada.
So anybody have any other questions and did we miss any important ideas here?
Has anybody gotten the PPP loan?
No.
Nobody besides me.
I got it.
I'll be the ass here. Okay, thank you.
I got it too, Ted. I just got
Wait,
it.
how did you guys get it?
Did you apply? Did you apply, Marlene?
I applied like the first day for both.
Which provider?
What bank did you go through?
PNC.
A lot of times, the bigger banks did not take care of their smaller businesses. You might want to try again through a local bank.
Who do you guys bank with? Because
their people.
Yeah,
I can give you a list, Marlene, of places that will take you without being a customer.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing is you have to be a customer at many of the banks. And there's a couple of lists that are floating around that you don't have to be a customer at.
Oh, great.
That
I was actually going to start banking with Glenview or one of the local ones anyways, because I got tired of the big ones. I don't. Who do you guys bank? Sorry, I'm getting out of the whole thing. Mary and Ted, who do you guys bank with?
Go ahead, Mary.
I use the bank that's closest to me, Hanmi.
Oh, yeah, Hanmi. Okay. And how about you, Ted? Also?
I use Heartland Bank. Heartland
Heartland?
Bank and Trust, yeah.
Wow, see?
Yeah, that was the
Awesome.
big, I mean, it says like relationship with banker and all that, but I mean, it just has to do with the big bank. My one buddy, he was with Chase, and he applied within the first, he said like 10 minutes they were open. But within the first hour, Chase alone had over 70,000 applicants.
Oh, wow.
So it's like,
Mhm.
better be like a big fish in a small pond, I guess, is the.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not consistent is what I'm across all different industries. It's not consistent whether you're a big fish or a little fish or have a relationship or don't have a relationship. There's a lot of variables in it and
Mm-hmm.
as to who gets it and who doesn't.
Okay.
Not a lot of transparency, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I can give you a couple of names of places that you can apply without being
Perfect. Yeah, I'll send you a text later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Has this been valuable, guys? Is this helpful?
Very.
Would you do it again in another month or so, or is this helpful? Would you want it again?
I'll,
And also the 100%.
my dad just, Jimmy
Hi,
just
guys.
came in.
Hi,
when we have
guys.
the meeting. They don't see you. Say
It's
hi.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. They don't have to
Say
see
hi.
me. Hello, hello.
Aw.
That's awesome.
Okay. No, I mean, but it's.
Hold on one second.
If you have, yes. That's what the lawyer
Okay, we've been going back and forth with a lawyer. I don't know if this is relative to the situation with, only a couple of us have the PPP loan, but even as far as right now, if anybody has any questions, I guess they can call or ask me.
Assisted living tomorrow.
We don't know anything either.
This old
As
lady
far as
traipsing out to a
they're
park.
changing the rules every day. Right now, we just heard from the lawyer that for somebody to come back to work, just to protect your own end, get a consent form. That's what he just told me. I don't know if you guys are hearing anything similar. This is the first time I've heard this, Get a consent form that you're this and that you're healthy.
Can you mute Karen?
Oh, hold on.
who's got the
Okay. Sorry, we couldn't hear you very well, Ted. You're talking about consent forms?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, consent. I've heard that from other businesses, not even restaurants, but just other businesses that are asking for consent forms that people say that they're healthy before they'll show up. They sign off on their fever and what they've experienced, symptoms and stuff like that.
Right. No, so you can protect your business. That's the whole reason.
Yep.
So if you do have a consent, a written consent, most likely you have more bullets, to fight with. That's what they say.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Not that it's gonna happen, but it's something extra.
I like your analogy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a terrible analogy.
Well, that's what
Perfect.
he told me.
It is. That's
the
true.
analogy that
It's
he
true.
used.
It's not going to be
That's the analogy that
bulletproof.
he used.
It's going to
Guys,
help.
I have to get to 3 o'clock.
People now, I mean, they're saying they're not safe.
Bye-bye, Mike.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Thank you very much for putting this on. PJ, thanks for the signs.
Yep.
And
Yeah, let's do it again, you guys.
best of luck to
Okay.
everyone.
Okay.
there.
Bye, thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Paul.
Bye.
Miss Wyland,
Yes,
I'll call you.
PJ.
People are PJ. I'll call you P. Okay. Do people call in the village? Is there anything we can do as as Ellie's or as everyone else as a restaurant to help out or get our name out there? Like I've gone, for example, nearby businesses, hotels, this, that, dropping off menus, letting people know we're open. I was saying earlier, I was changing up POS system, asking Mary if, as far as pushing it on social media. Is there anything you've heard from the, like, people calling in? I know the signs are really nice. You put it on the website, what restaurants were open, so people can see that. Is there anything else you'd recommend that we can help out too? Like,
It's really your social media is one, and the chamber keeps a list. The village keeps a list, right, Megan? Right?
Right. Yeah. So Ted, I work for the Glenview Chamber, and we basically are putting together a list of, members and non-members that, have businesses that are operating, even if you're not essential and you're still, providing a service, whether it be like an online virtual workout or, you're doing some sort of like entertainment for children or families online. So every week we put something out that goes out to the members, that goes out to the residents, and then we share it with the village. So the village puts it on their e-newsletter, and then the village also puts it on their website as well. And so you guys, I can send you, if you want to give me your email address, I can send you, the village put together a
I'm going to
restaurant.
step out. I have a 3 o'clock. Ted, if you need something, reach out to me.
thank you, PJ.
Sure. I got to
Bye,
take off.
PJ, thank you.
Sorry. Bye.
So there's basically, if you're open, even if you have, shorter hours, if you're, operating just in the morning or afternoon or whatever, the village has a list of open restaurants. So hopefully, I don't have it in front of me, but hopefully they have you. If you want to wait 1 second, I can pull it up. Or Betsy, if you're able to go to the village website and pull it up.
Yeah.
But that's going out to thousands. So your name is out there and you are circulating. But we also, we're trying to do, I don't know if you're doing anything for Mother's Day.
No, no, nothing special for Mother's Day.
Okay.
We'll get like a flower and with that's usually what we do on regular Mother's Day. Yeah. Thinking about doing like heart-shaped pancakes or something like that. We were thinking about doing, surprising and everyone.
Anything. Yeah, I think anything. But yeah, just putting together even maybe just like a Mother's Day brunch menu or a Mother's Day lunch or breakfast menu. And you can post that on, your social media page or post it on your website. Do you guys have a website that you're in control over, or does someone else manage it for you?
Someone else manages it for me. And,
yeah.
The whole thing is, again, to be able to kind of push it. It would be through not Facebook, Instagram, all that. I'd have to maybe get in touch later with either a company or either, Mary says somebody that she, something like that to do.
Yeah, have you seen Mary's? She does her girl, I don't know her name, but the girl that does it for her does a really nice job. And so she puts together like a weekly menu. So she'll usually have like 4 or 5 different family style options, and she switches it up a little bit each week, but she just posts a reminder, a couple times a week so people know what's happening. And like you were saying earlier, if you put together a family of 4 meal or a family of 6 meal, something like that, that's $40, $50. That's a great value, and it would help you as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything you'd like to ask for before we get people on the huh? No.
Are they planning? I mean, did they get
we talked about it.
They get approved.
Okay. No, this was helpful. What I might do is maybe through personally talk to PJ or yourself or whatever to think about any kind of stickers or anything like that. You said through the village.